Hi everyone, I'm down on the outskirts of London. I'm actually quite close to Epping, and in today's video we're looking at probably the UK's, or one of the UK's, most crashed into houses. I was made aware of this junction by many of my viewers after there was a piece on and it was reported by ITV. Now, this house had been crashed into 3 times within a 12-month period. And I'm going to have a look at this junction today and see what they've done to it to make it better. Since these incidents happened, the council have done a fair bit to improve the junction. So we're going to get down there and have a look at it, see what they've done, and find out how, hopefully, it's been made safer. Here are a couple of the crashes caught by the house CCTV. This happened in March 2022. That's a heavy hit. All the airbags have gone off. And it wasn't just the front wall that got damaged. Have a look at the front of the house. It was lucky no one in the property got killed or seriously injured. And this is one of the other crashes from September that year. Again, a massively heavy hit that damaged the front of the house. What if there were other road users coming from the left or the right? So this is the road approaching the junction, and this is the first time I've driven it. And whilst I've been down here in Epping, I've found that people do tend to bomb around these roads quite quickly when there's bends and even when there's narrowings in the road. Maybe that's a little cause of why they have issues coming into this. But we're going to look at it and see what the clues are about what this junction's all about. Now, there is a road closure to the right-hand side, but let's have a little look at the first clue. You've got some markings on the road. We can see them a little touch further up. I don't think they were there before, and we've got some new signs. But if you look directly in front, does that just look like a bend? It dips down to the left. They've put some new road surface on, and honestly, it's not too bad. You imagine the speed that people must be going to crash into that house, go straight through the wall and into the living room. So overall, I think that approach to that T-junction is quite unremarkable. The bit that I'd like to just think about, though, is my initial impression that I just said to camera. When I was approaching it, it did look as though the road bends around to the left-hand side. And if you piece that together with what I've discovered with the locals and how they drive around here, I can understand why they'd be approaching that quite quickly. So let's compare what we could see from my footage compared to what the road used to be like on Google Maps. From this far back now we can clearly see the signs on the right hand side, and they've been moved, and the markings on the floor are also really visible. But this is what it used to look like. As you can see, we can't see the give way triangle, and the floor markings are non-existent. And it's only when we go a little further down the road that you'll be able to spot the give way sign. Yep, there it is tucked in behind that tree. They didn't think about that placement very well, did they? But now it looks a lot better. The white road markings, the placement of the sign, and we can also see a different coloured road surface. Now let's see what they've done with the other giveaway sign on the left. That's okay, it's nicely visible, but what did it used to be like? Well, it was a fair bit further up. It was actually opposite this entrance to the right. However, it was obscured by view, and I think this would be particularly awkward to see at night also. Now the bushes and the hedges have been trimmed and the giveaway sign's been repositioned further up near the junction, actually where the giveaway line is. I wonder how long these bushes and trees are going to stay like this though. Notice also at the other side of the junction we've now got some reinforced bollards, but interestingly they're not directly in front of the house. These were very substantial. I wonder whether they've put some extra reinforcements in the wall of the property. The changes to the junction are, as you can see, pretty obvious, and I think they've made a big difference. They're pretty straightforward though. It makes sense to me to have more signage on the right hand side of the road when you're on a left hand bend. There's added road markings which make it a little bit more visible, and they've added the shell grit road surface. If you didn't know, it's like sandpaper and it gives a fair bit more grip, I think 30%. Don't quote me on that one though. It is more expensive, else they'd put it on all roads. But that downhill section, as they're approaching the giveaway line, I think it's quite important. So in summary, I think the road planners have made changes to this junction that should have been implemented in the first place. Now that's easy in hindsight, but if you think about what I said about people driving too quickly, I can totally understand, with how it was before, why people kept on crashing into the house. It would be interesting to find out where the people came from who crashed into this house. If it was locals, that really surprises me, because they should know what that junction's like. Would that junction have caught me out? I don't think so. I don't attack these roads in the same way that I've seen some people driving whilst I've been down here in Epping. Approaching this corner, I'm making certain that I could always stop if someone just bombed around this corner. And if you were doing that on the approach to that junction that we've been looking at today, would you have got yourself into that mess of crashing into that house? I don't think so. As normal, it's the human element. It's nothing to do with the vehicle you operate, it's how you operate it. That extra little bit of speed always causes problems. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.